Okay, so we should be live on YouTube too, so that should be happening in a second. I'm also going to pop this on record, so I've got it in my group too. Okay, 1 second. I'm just going to confirm that this is working. And it is. Okay, great. So thanks for being on the call today. I have I've got a slide on here. So I'm not going to be promoting my $29 package anymore for the single strategy. But the good thing is any of the subscribers who are on that package can continue using that ongoing. So it's great for somebody who just wants to focus on one strategy and use the tools that were included in the system. But for those who want more options, want more indicators to help with their trading decisions, I've got the entire DTB system, which I've always offered for one low subscription price. I haven't charged for individual tools. So I've got over 30 indicators, quite a few automated strategies, and all the bar types included with a subscription. So it's a good setup, and it's really can accommodate any trader. So the risk disclosures for the session, they'll be available in the link to in the video. Okay, great. So I'll close that off. Let's first have a look at our charts for yesterday and today. So if I scroll back, hopefully when I've removed the drawing tools, but yesterday we were looking, remember we were trading around this time. This is 10 o'clock actually. So we were watching the price bounce off the 76.4. So this is from yesterday. And if you remember correctly, we said it was going to go right up to the 15,700 and just above, because there was no strong Fibonacci level in between. So that's kind of exactly what it did. And it's kind of just floated around that level today. Overnight, it's come right down and it's come back to the 76.4 again. So the exact same spot that it was at yesterday. And again, they have really struggled to break through that. So if I just compress this a bit, it's the exact same location that yesterday they were working on when we were on the live session. Again, it just proved to be a very strong position. They've gone up again, to these previous levels over here, and now it looks like they're coming back to the 76.4. So very interesting. Obviously, we just had the open, so it's quite active. The YM, even though we're not trading the YM, it's also nice to have a look at that. We've had some key levels in that as well. The 50% came into play yesterday, came into play again overnight, 8 p.m. When it came down again and it actually broke through that 50%, it just really went down to attack the next strong level, which is the 38.2. And there's actually another one hidden behind it, which will just show that it's quite a strong level. So quite interesting to see how the price has been reacting around these Fibonacci levels. That's on the YM. On the ES, similar type of thing there, a lot of very strong levels where the price struggled at this point over here. So we can see over here a nice big resistance. When the price broke through the 50%, like it did before, there was a good run up to the 61.8. So the good thing about trading the Fibonacci levels or making trading decisions with the Fibonacci levels is you're looking for a breakout of a price from a strong level closing above a strong level. And once that happens, there's really nothing stopping it until it gets to the next strong level. So that is, basically what you're looking at if you're entering manual positions, or even looking at your strategies, deciding on, should you be pausing your strategy now? Should you be letting it run? Do you want to choose long only positions or short only positions? So this is just a bit more in-depth looking at the strategies, at the charts, to decide in how you're going to run your sessions. So that's a cool thing to look at. Now, yesterday we ran the strategy analyzer. Now, I did realize that it was NinjaTrader that was hanging up my computer yesterday. So I came back after the session and I just shut down NinjaTrader. I just waited for about 4 or 5 minutes and then everything worked perfectly again. So for some reason, the platform was causing issues yesterday. And all I did was restart it again and it's been fine ever since. So hopefully we won't run into that issue again today. So we're going to be using the exact same optimization settings as we did yesterday. So for anybody that saved the settings yesterday, which you would have, all you have to go do is your template and you can go load. And I called it 7 September NQ NinzaRenko. So I'm going to load that. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go change the dates and obviously check the time. So we're going to use the time slot 9:30 till 11 as true. And we're leaving all the other settings exactly as they were. And we're going to scroll down and we're going to choose our start date. So obviously we're using the next day because it's the next day. So we're going to use the 9th of the 8th to the 10th of the 8th. So that's what we're changing over there. Every single thing else is fine. So I'm going to run that and then I'm going to go template, save, and I'm going to click on the 7 September and I'm going to just call it 8 September. NinzaRenko, good. And then I'm going to go back in there and I'm just going to click on load and I'm going to remove the other 7 September ones. So just remove them out the way, just so we don't get any confusion with them. So we've got 8th of September now. That's the only one in my list with the date on it. There's my iterations that I've run. And currently, that is where we are. So let's have a look at the chart. We've had a few positions open and close since 9:30. So if you look at this, very interesting. Yesterday, we were running on 9:20. So look, there's the 9:20 that's come up again in our top 10. So who knows, that might be featuring today again in the market. So we're only going to start the strategy at 1:45, which is in the next 5 minutes or so. We're just going to give the market some time to settle down, and then we're going to enable the strategies. But as you saw there, you know, once you've set up initially the very first time, it's quite easy to continue. And I forgot to click record on my other thing. Damn it. Okay, so I've done that now. So very simple. Just because of this recording, I just started right now. We basically, I'm just going to repeat it for that. We're basically using the optimization we did yesterday. We've just changed the dates to today's dates in the settings, which is 9th of the 8th to 10th of the 8th of the 9th to 10th of the 9th. And we've run it and we've actually saved it as a template with today's date, and we've removed the previous dates. We ran the optimization and we've getting settings. We got settings that were even similar to yesterday. And we'll start the strategy in about 5 minutes or so. So in the 5 minutes, so in the next few minutes, we'll just continue running optimizations, look at the charts, and just see what it's looking like, and then we can work from there. I'm just going to stop this video so I can take less of the screen. Okay. So there's our 9:20 that we had running yesterday. So interestingly enough, that 9:20 carried on yesterday for the session. It did end with a few losing positions, but that was for the whole of yesterday. Those settings were great to use. So that is fine. So while I've got that, I'm just going to go to my control panel and go new chart. So I did close off my my previous chart. So the only charts I've got, the only windows I've got open is I've got one workspace open. I've got obviously I've got the control center, the strategy analyzer. So I've only got 3 windows open for NinjaTrader. So the less windows you have open, the better it's going to perform. And now I'm opening the 4th one, which is going to be our chart. So we're going to be choosing the NinzaRenko bars, and we're using an 11 and a 2 on there, and we're selecting days as 0. So when you select days as 0, you are going to find that it's only going to be bringing up today's data. So I'm just going to try and get this squeezed on the page again. So strategy analyzer should be at the bottom, like this, and then the trading chart can be above. Just want to get this to be positioned nicely. Okay, so just position your chart, get your account that you're working on. So we're working off that account. We're going to just pop this on. I'm going to run the optimization again. We're going to apply the strategy in the next like 2 minutes or so. So the good thing is even in preparation for it, you can take any of your results from your strategy analyzer and you can load it onto your trading chart, and that will help you see if you have selected or if you've got everything lined up properly. So if you've got no data issues, or, you know, we've had some members who have had data corruption and the wrong data is showing on the chart compared to the analyzer. So, you know, that type of thing can happen. If you're ever having data issues, just completely remove your data that you have so that you can just make sure that it's fresh data. Okay, so I'm going to just take this top setting, and I'm going to, a few of these have changed. I'm just going to take this top setting and go template and save, and I'm going to call this NinzaRenko, but I'm going to call this trading chart. Same thing as we did yesterday. Save, and then I'm going to go to my trading chart now, go to the strategy and pop on that strategy and go template, load, choose the trading chart one, load. It leave all the settings exactly how they are. We're only going to be selecting the account we're going to be working on. Click on apply and OK. And hopefully with that, okay, where's the results at the bottom of the screen? So strategies. Let's see, why is that not showing at the bottom of the screen? So just disable them. So the bottom of the screen is supposed to show the results. Enable. Oh, now it's showing. See, that there's no reason whatsoever why that happened, but there we go. So interesting. Okay, so perfect. I'm going to run the strategy optimizer one more time now that I know that my data isn't corrupted. And I know that whatever results I run right now will actually be ideal. Had we pressed start on that a few seconds before, we could have actually been in a long position right now, but that's okay. There's going to be many positions happening throughout the session. I'm going to be monitoring the YouTube channel video and just see if anybody's on there or asking anything and whatever. So if you need to ask any questions, you can pop it in there if you're on there and watching. Okay, perfect. So the settings have come up again. I'm just going to go and save this template. So template, save. I'm going to use that one that we've got, the top results over there. They're very similar to the previous results, like on the chart. Very, very similar. And I'm going to go into the strategy over here, and I'm going to go and enable that. So I'm going to take off the old settings. So go and disable that. I'm going to go template. I'm going to load the new settings, which is this one here. And this should be 919. I just got to make sure I save that. Come on. 919. Yes, perfect. And I'm going to enable, apply, OK, and start. So everything is matching as it should on there. I'm going to try to keep a record of how many times the setting will change for the strategy. We just missed the very first, well, the signal after, because we got to wait until flat synchronized account. So we activated the strategy at 9:45, which is just over here. We activated a little bit later than 9:45, but had we activated just a few seconds before, we actually would have been in 2 long positions right now, actually. So looking at the chart, just at the trading chart itself, which is this one over here, I'm going to maximize. I'm going to disable this chart trader just to get it out of the way.
That's interesting, Jason. You've got 919. I'm going 818.
There we go. So I mean, up in the settings, they were both very similar. I think the second one was 818. But as you can see, this the strategy had entered buy over there. Okay. So it entered a buy over there. 63 ticks. Wow, that would be nice to be in these trades. So 63, and did anybody activate their strategy before I did on their optimized settings?
I did, but I got it at a sale at that one red bar, so I actually stopped out initially. Did
you activate your trailing stop?
Yeah, I hit my trailing stop. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is what happens with trading stops, unfortunately. So it's very often the case. You're gonna be in a position, they're gonna pull the price back, and then it's gonna run. That's why if I had to activate this exact same strategy, but with the trailing stop settings, you're gonna find that probably more than likely these very long running positions over here would have been stopped out over here on a trailing stop at a loss. Oh, come on. So that is the experience with trading stops. Stopped out at a loss. Even this one over here, it would have gone up and it would have stopped out at a loss, you know, definitely by here, by this time. But then what happened is it would have continued on, and these would have been incredible running positions. So that is the biggest problem with trading stops is you will miss out on these huge runs of positions, and actually have positions close off at losses rather than profits, because you gathering the momentum, the price is going up, and then you minus 17 ticks of profits. Okay, so we've entered our first position at the end of the chart. Let's see what that is looking like. So I'm not using the trailing stops at this moment. I'm going to just let this run. I will, however, activate the chart trader and just make this a dollar figure. If the dollar figure freaks you out, you can just make it ticks or points. And then it's also a good way to look at that. I know one of my traders, he says he never puts a dollar value there, because as soon as the person sees a dollar value, it's a subconscious reaction. And whether if you're working with numbers, it's a different thing. Okay, so we are into our first position, and let's just see what happens.
So if you don't use a trailing stop, Jason, do you just use the pause function to, if you just get uncomfortable?
Yeah, you can just use the pause button. That's if you want to exit, but otherwise I just wait for the opposing signal of the strategy, because the strategy is going to switch over on the next signal. It's just a matter of, when that happens. But yes, if you can definitely use the pause to jump out. I'm going to just run the optimization over here. I may also just add the Fibonacci levels to the trading chart, which you should really do before you enable the strategy, but that's okay. We'll pop it on now. So DTB Fibonacci levels, I'm going to pop them on. Okay. And that is going to show me the levels. So we're currently in a second position right now. Strategies have entered the second position. So it's had 2 sell signals on this brick wall. So it's predicting that the price is going to be going down. So let's see what happens around the 76. So again, over here, if you really want to be safe, like you really want to make sure that you're safe, you can pause your strategy at the 76, because there's still a very high chance the price is going to be bouncing off there. And, like even when it comes close like that, like it did at the bottom there, pausing the strategy, you've captured a huge amount of, of returns already, up $200, in the first few minutes of your strategy running, which will be great, or $20 if you're on micros. But I'm not going to be doing that on this. I'm going to be just letting it run, because we've had quite a few runs at the 76. So who knows, they might be breaking through.
So a quick question, Jason, just for a dummy here. If I move my trailing stop just way north of where it should be, it's not going to interfere with the reverse signal, is it?
No. As soon as these trades or the signal changes, it's going to exit it's going to close off the position and cancel all the attached stop and targets. Well, so to the tick, it's like literally came to that 76 and had a bounce off. And then it's exited there, and it's saying a buy. So bit of a tricky one here, because this price is floating around the 76. So again, what you can do when the price is around a strong Fibonacci level, if you've had your strategy active, pause it, wait for the price to get a proper direction from there. You can even switch to your 5-minute chart and have a look at what that is looking like. So you can just look at what your 5-minute chart is doing around there. So as you can see, we've just had a more bouncing around this this level. And we spoke about this on previous calls, but you can have an inclination of what positions you are willing to take. So you can say, I only want to have long positions. For the strategy, I only want the strategy to enter long positions and not any other position. So only long, or you can choose short only. And obviously I've got it on both. So it's taking both directions at the moment. I'm not too concerned about what the strategy is doing around here, because sooner or later, there's going to be a direction that's going to happen over here. And hopefully it will just smash through the 76, which I think it's going to do, because we've already had our highs over there. And this level has been hit too frequently as of, yeah, it's been hit quite a lot. So it's either extremely strong, or it's going to break through. For most of you, it's AM, but for me, it's PM. So I'm having my rum and coke, which is my my drink for trading. Unfortunately, we're only in one position there. If we were in two positions, we would have doubled all of that. So it would have been up quite high. The price has broken through the 76.4. Okay, but the only thing I'm concerned about is it's only a wick. Only the wick has broken through. It hasn't closed below that 76. So I'll just pull this to the side and just see what this is going to be looking like.
Lower highs, it should go through it again.
It's very interesting. So when we have a close, a proper close out of the range of these candles, we're going to have this price run at a drastic rate. For now, it just seems to want to be messing with us. You may be asking, why didn't it change signal on this specific change over here? And that's just because the strategy has those brick wall optimizations to not take every single signal that comes up. So we've optimized it to be selective on the signals, which sometimes could be a disadvantage because you might have this run up, and if there's no change of signal, you're actually going to have a biggish position at a loss. But very often it doesn't do that. It will flick over. But yeah, it's obviously at a point now where we are lacking a direction around the 76. We may even have another sell signal happening over here if this price breaks below this brick wall. See, this is the gray 76.4 you're seeing there is the 5-minute Fibonacci level. So what's happened is it looks like it's gone over, came and retested that and going up. Hopefully not. We'll see. Yeah, so I fear that this is going to be running up. We've got a clear break above. I shouldn't take off this plot. So our time right now is 10 o'clock on the dot, 10:01. I don't know. We've had a run up earlier today. So I'm looking at my other 5-minute chart. I'm just looking at what the price has done today already. We've had a run up after that break. Could we be seeing another run up, but then going way above where we were before? or is it just as much of a battle above the price as below the price? Okay, what we should really be doing is actually running some optimizations. So let's go and have a look at that just to see what that is looking like. I was quite intrigued by this actually, just watching what it was doing, because I can see where the action is happening at these levels. But let's run some optimizations and see what has come up and what that is looking like.
Just run one, Jason. I'm not getting much different. I'm getting 618.
Okay, so it's still staying the same. Okay.
Pretty much within 1 or 2.
Okay, so I'm having a lot more action around here. Okay. It's just a lot more trades, but I don't want to particularly change it into something that has got the drawdown that this one has so far got. So I'm going to just keep monitoring this. We've got our 6, our 9. So yeah, I'm just going to run this. We've had a few little losses on this one over here. Not a lot though, because it's been pretty flat, these positions that have exited. So, you know, if you're running your optimization and you're not seeing very, very favorable results in your optimizer, you can choose to pause your strategy and just give it a few minutes. Or you can just see how your strategy, your existing one, is playing out and work from there. Again, you know, around these strong levels, you can choose to pause it as well. So we've still got very low drawdowns on this specific strategy that's active at the moment. So the analyzer is not bringing up this very particular result because the other ones are not 100% sure, but we'll just have a look. Keep this going. I'm going to keep running the optimization because that's going to give us updated results. Sometimes this text at the bottom takes a little bit longer to update on the previous positions. So just bear that in mind. Not always, but it does sometimes do that. $9.19, so that's coming back up again. So that was like a bit of a thing happening there. So that's still showing $9.19. I'm not liking where this is going on top here, but I am going to just keep that going for right now. And the reason why I'm keeping that one going is because I'm just watching what is going to be happening with this 5-minute candle close. That I'm just watching what's happening with that, because where that's going to close is going to be a big determining factor of, do I want the strategy to be in that position that it's in now to continue up? So this could be a long candle going up. In that case, we don't want to be in a, okay, so that's already changed on its own. Okay. So we just want to see this candle close now way above where it is, and then this is going to be shooting up. This is going to be shooting up like crazy in the next few minutes, because they've really struggled to bring it down. The 76.4 has just been a huge barrier for the price. So are we going to see we're going to see a huge run up to this level over here. That could be very much on the cards, and probably even way beyond that, because there's literally nothing stopping it. If it breaks through that, we're going to be going for some crazy highs around. But anyway, we're going to see how that works. Okay, I'm going to move that aside. Keep running my optimization. So, had you guys had paused your strategies around that 76.4 and just, waited it out, see what was going on, there would be some really good profits in there already. Some really good trades that were high in the green. So I'm probably bound to change these. I'm going to see what the latest optimization is going to be telling me. Okay, so now it has changed a bit. It has changed the settings because it's actually come up with settings that have worked over a longer period, and they're showing us 0 losses. But the thing is that we were still, I've only brought up 10 results, so it's actually only going to show the ones that we've currently had before. So the results I've got on my strategy now is I filtered down the chart. So let's just have a look. So I've got the 814. I'm also looking at the previous trades in action. Not seeing anything that is looking like it wants to change. I don't want to switch to these at this very stage. I am happy to be in this long position right now because I firmly believe that now that we've had a clear breakout away from that 76, we're more than likely going to see a huge run up here, because as I said, there's no strong Fibonacci levels in the way. So I probably expect these to be long candles running up like crazy. And that looks like what we kind of are seeing. It went to the 50% of the 5-minute. I mean, it's not an exceptionally powerful level, but it's also not a terribly weak one too. But it's obviously not as strong as the 4-hour levels and all those. And that's why we had a small little bounce off. It may come back and retest that. And while that's running, I'm just going to run some more optimizations. And I'm not using trading stops or anything like that. So I am expecting to have some long running positions during this session. If I want to use a trailing stop, I can just click this button over here and it will activate a trailing stop on the next order. If I wanted to add a specific trailing stop to the existing order, as we discussed yesterday, all you have to do is go into your positions menu over here, right click on your active position and go apply ATM strategy. And then you can apply any of your ATM strategies that you've got in play. Okay, so it's jumping around between those. So let's have a look. We came up to the 50. Are we going to have a sell over here? Let's have a see. We'll see how strong this brick wall is. So as you're trading, these brick walls are going to form, and they're going to just be little hints of, you know, price breaking over a brick wall, coming back down to retest it. If the price doesn't break through that brick wall, you know, there's a high chance it's going to be going up. If it keeps repeatedly coming back down to it, then you're probably going to have it break through. So in this case, the price broke up. It did come to the 50% on the 5 minutes, but then it did come and retest this brick wall over here. In fact, it entered another position, believing it's a strong buy signal up. And I'm tending to agree with that because we have a very powerful bounce off that 76.4. So hopefully that is the case. Bit of a struggle in this specific area. So let's see, you know, what's going to be happening with the price over here. I would probably tend to pause the strategy if the price is going to break below this brick wall, because then what we've had a few consecutive positions that have not been successful. So you might as well recoup all of that, or at least stop it from going against you again. But my plan for the session was just to let the strategies actually run and not interfere too much with them, which is why I haven't had the trading stop active or anything like that. You can go into your data series and center price on scale. So when you've got two charts like that, you can just center the price on scale so that even if you've made your chart smaller to fit onto one screen, you can actually see the bars clearly on the chart. Okay, so it's gone and touched the 50%. And now it seems to be breaking through. So very simple thing to do. I've just paused it. Okay. I've just paused it for right there, just to get out of that position. And I'm going to just run my strategy analyzer again and just see what that is giving us. So every day we're going to have little shifts in the market. So it's just a matter of judging what's happening. But you know, as we've seen over the last few trading days, when that price is around a very strong Fibonacci level, it's probably the absolute safest is to get one or two very good trades in the bag, like we did in the beginning. You know, those like $200-300 trades. Pause the strategy and then wait for that clear direction, and then afterwards come back and reactivate it once we've got that direction. Okay, again, I'm seeing a little bit of adjustments over here. 919. I'm not getting the absolute best settings out of this. So I'm going to just look at the time. It's 10:16 now. So I don't think it's quite time to switch it to 10 a.m. to analyze the data from there, because it's not enough data to work with. But we can just run this and just see what this is coming up with. There's a new brick wall formed with these settings, but I'm not too keen on reactivating that strategy. I'm going to just rather see what's coming up with the analyzer. If nothing favorable is coming up, we will just wait a bit. Okay, we're seeing a lot of these long positions going up. So the same type of results, long running positions with a bit of bouncing around this specific area. Not too keen on that. So I may just sit this out a little bit until I just get a bit more. Yesterday we were seeing some very nice swings in the price, and we were getting really good results on the strategy, taking those swings nicely. So I would like to see something like that happening in our results. So you can always just wait for that to happen and then reactivate your strategy after that. So ideally what I'm looking for a strategy. I'm basically looking for a strategy that is giving me results of buying, buying at these levels and then selling over here and having that type of a reaction. So buys and sells as the price is swinging up and down, so we can get some consistency. So ideally like a buy over there, sell, buy, and then perhaps a sell over here. At the moment, we've just had these very, very long runs. But you know what? Let's jump. I'm going to jump into a 313. So in the meantime, I'm going to activate one of these just so we can have some settings going. So I'm going to pop this one on here. So strategies. So I'm going to set the 1210. So template, save. I'm going to call this the trading chart. Yes. Come to my strategy over here. Disable that. Template and load. Trading chart, perfect. Enable, apply, and OK. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that one on for right now. And then while that is running, I'm going to just see what else I can get from our analyzer. So there's our 5-minute chart. We're starting to, we definitely got some long candles there, but there's like a doji candle with 5,200 volume. The previous one was 6,300. So I don't know, it's 3,000 volume on this one so far. I still think we're going to get a huge run up in this price. So how is the strategies going on your sides? Have you had to change settings? Have you guys been just running ongoing, or what's been happening?
I changed settings. I got 8:14, so I paused it when you paused it. Randomization, I ran it 2 or 3 times, and just for the drawdown and number of trades and percentage profitable was 8:14, which is not too much similar to what I had, but I've just set that away, and it's going to a sell position at the moment.
Okay. I think we'll be approaching the sell over here. So this strategy is currently in a sell position to the previous signal. So that is what is coming up. Looks like we've had a little bit of a stall in price for right now. You know, this candle pattern that you're looking at on the 5-minute chart, this often means like a stall in the price. When you have like a spinning doji like that, that often means a stall in the price where the price might reverse. So this last strategy that I selected is actually a strategy that's currently in a sell position, the last signal on there. So that's why I've just paused. I've started this one up, and I'm going to wait until the next signal that comes up. But at least this is going to confirm for me whether this is actually a sell if this price is coming down. And then if it switches over to a buy signal above a brick wall over here, I'll be happy with that too. We're in like a no man's land type of an area right now, between 2 very strong levels. So it's either going to come back and retest the 76 again, or go back up to the 100. So there's my 1210 that I've got active at the moment. Which seems to be in the best position right now. I mean, when I ran the optimization, the price was above the brick wall. Now it's come right down below the brick wall. So I know that those results are pretty good. Not getting a lot of signals. Yesterday we were getting a lot more signals, a lot more trades on the chart. We can also go to, you can increase the amount of results that are coming up. So I'll just, for this interest sake, I'm going to just include 20 results. And we can sift through a few of the entries on there and just see what they look like.
I mean, Jason, I know you're trying to get the long runs here, and it's on a long run now, but actually I've looked over it. This is actually the 3rd run where you've had over 250 US. So you had a trailing stop and wanted just to secure some profits and scalp it. This is actually a good strategy for scalping, as we discussed earlier.
Yes, no, totally it is. Yesterday I was using a trailing stop, so I'm just mixing it up a little bit. But definitely, I mean, as soon as you're getting those runs, I mean, we had two or three trades earlier that were in the hundreds, and yeah, those type of things, you know, they can be paused, they can be just, you know, not even just a trading stop, just pause them at specific levels where the price is reacting around them. And you can always just wait for the next signal. So you can either pause it for a while or just pause it until you're happy with the optimizer again, and then reactivate it.
Yeah, so that run there was the 3rd one that's produced over 250, because I'm just watching the US dollars here on it. So technically that's like 750.
Right.
For me, that would be my trading night done.
Correct. Yeah, and that's for most people they will be, you know. So there's my 1210. Let's come back to the top of the list because this has come down nicely. Be interesting to see if I go back to that 990 setting that I had earlier. Unfortunately, I wrote over it. I overrode it. Don't remember what the settings were exactly of that one. So that's right. So time is 10:27. Well, this session has gone extremely quick. Okay, so it's coming to 10:27. So what I might even think of doing right now, just for the last 30 minutes of the session, is change it from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Okay, so 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and I'm running the same optimizations, just with that different time on there. So they're coming back to the 76, eh? So not quite what I was envisioning, but you know, there are little telltale signs, you know, like, you know, when you get these type of candles where you're seeing a small candle and big wicks, those are often turnaround points or stall points in the market. So every candlestick analysis book will tell you that those are stall points, basically. They do happen quite frequently, and unfortunately, you look at the chart, there's a lot of them. So yeah, something you can just you can just have another chart on another screen, just monitoring those and just seeing what that looks like while you've got your strategy running. Okay, so these are settings now that have come up. Okay, so it's from 10 o'clock. So I just ran this right now. We've got 4 or 5 positions. So this is a 614 one. So I'm going to a 6-4. So I'm going to save this one over here. Okay, like this. Come on. So template and save that. And I'm going to save it as the trading chart like this. Yes. Come to my strategy, pause the strategy, go into the settings of it. And so look at that those last settings. There was 2 trades running all the way down there on that one. So that was a powerful setting. Okay, so template and load like that. Yes. I'm going to enable this. Come on, enable, apply. Okay. I'm looking at these results. These 2 huge running ones were the last results of that. That's why you're only seeing 618 in the top chart. That's because it's not including these last running positions. But up until then, we've had some good solid results. The turnaround point of that strategy was just right. So this was the turnaround point, the cells over here. So we'll see where the next turnaround point is for these settings. just bringing up the 5-minute chart. So if you were in a sell position now on any of your strategies, this is similar to earlier. Similar to earlier in the conditions where I didn't pause it, but probably a very good time to pause a strategy when you get into those levels. So again, what is the time right now? It is 10:32. Wow. Okay. So this is a candle that's only been open for the last 2 minutes. Okay. Quite a long candle already. So it'll be very decisive of where this candle is going to close. Now, they could be bastards about it and close it very, very low down, like over here. And then the next candle come up again to retest the 76, which could very well happen. So to confirm a very clear breakout, which is what they did when it came, what happened above. So came up, it broke above the 76, or stayed above, should I say, came back to retest it and then continued up. So this could be what's happening now. A long candle to smash through that 76. They've still got another 2 minutes to close that candle. So they're being real bastards about it. Not giving anybody opportunity to actually enter a nice, fair trade on that level with a small stop. They're just pushing it right through. Great. So now my strategy has decided to enter a long, which probably is a good idea, because what's going to happen more than likely is the price is going to come back up to retest the 76.4. Did it just enter a short? Okay, changed his mind. Now, I'll watch that on another screen while I look at what the strategy is doing.
In all fairness, Jason, that would be me done. I mean, that's P&L of 650 fighting back from 600 down at the initial start. So it's 1,200.
Right. Okay, so you had basically $1,200 from your minus 600 to your plus 600. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's right. We had some really, really good initial trades on my side, at least, but I let them run. Good on you. Well done. So this is what I think is going to happen here. Okay, so this candle hasn't closed yet, but when it closes, they've got two options to come and retest that 76, which has been a very, very strong level, or just take everybody out of the equation and just smash this price down. But probably not. I think they're going to be taking this price up to retest the 76. Probably to do some stop hunting there too. See, they also know where all the stops and things are. So if they are not picking up a lot of stops waiting for them in a certain area, they're judging where, how far they have to push the price up to go and get those stops. If there's not as many as they want, then they won't be doing that. So sometimes they'll play nice and they will close the trade just outside the 76, and then the next candle will come down. But in this case, they just smashed through it completely. didn't give anybody the chance to enter a position to go short, and rather just ran that price right down. So I'm currently in a sell position on this one over here. And that seems to be running. Look, it's gone over the 300 mark. We've gone to obviously a brand new low again. The strategy has now switched to a a buy over here. So these are the settings that I've currently got active. We're right near the 61.8. So you see, as soon as they smash through a level like they did on the 76, the next level below, the next level of contention is the 61.8. So you're going to find it very seldom that they're going to break through a 76 and a 61.8 in succession. It's very unlikely that that's going to happen. So they're probably going to come and test this number or come very close to it, which they kind of have already. They've come very close to the 61.8. So if I look at this, they've come literally within, okay, it's 40 odd ticks, give or take. How many ticks? About 36 ticks away from the 61.8. They've come near it. So let's see. Again, I'm going to run my optimization and just see what that is telling me. I'm going to try have this on a slightly larger screen window. So here we are. We're coming to the 61.8, eh? I'm expecting a huge bounce off that level. And the reason for that is you're probably expecting them to still come and retest the 76. So there still could be that that possibility of them coming and retesting the 76, even though they've come very far down. So normally they'll break through a strong level and then they'll go test that level again and then come back and chase after the next level. This case, a little bit different. So again, I'll run the optimization and just see what the strategy is going. I'll pull this 5-minute chart aside. So there's definitely a huge stall in price over here to go up. It just looks like they don't want to come and retest that 76 there when they want to push this price down. Okay, so this is the next setting, 1014. So there's that next level. That's 61.8. That's coming into play there. Literally coming so close to it, like very, very close to that level. If I get my measurement tool out, I'll be able to check how many ticks it was away from there when that one actually came in. At the moment, it's come within 7 ticks of the 61.8. So how many minutes of this candle do we have left? A few. So a temporary stall at this level, by the look of it, but it's going to, they're either going to go close below that or bounce off it. It's probably going to be a strong bounce too if they do bounce off that. But quite a push down at the moment. A huge amount of volume being pushed into that bar, 9,000, 14,000, and 14,000 over there. So a huge amount of volume on there. 14.7. So brick wall, we've got this brick wall over here at the 61.8. Okay, so I'm going to run my optimizations and just see what is coming up on there. Okay, we've literally touched that 61.8, like right on it, like immediately on it. And we also had a new candle form on the, it didn't give us much information there because that bar closed above that 61.8. So it didn't close below, it closed above 61.8. So I guess we've got another 5 minutes to really see what is happening with this candle, which is your next identifier as to what's going to be happening with this price. But yeah, definitely a huge push down on this. I like to watch the volume as well of this working and just seeing what that is doing. So who do we still have here? Do we have Eduardo? You're still on there. How your strategy is working, Eduardo?
Hey, Jason, I'm a little bit behind, but still here, applying optimization. So I let it run.
Have you had yours on pause?
Yes, I hit on pause, and then I run a couple of optimizations. So it's where I'm at right now. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad, but here I am just waiting for the next signal.
Yeah. So we are on 10:47, 45, 46, 47. So on this, if this candle that we're on currently right now closes above this one, that's a very clear bounce off that 61.8. But obviously, if it's going to close below the 61.8, this thing's going down. But for right now, it just looks like we have got a bounce off that 61.8. So that's how these fib levels are coming into play. The brick wall, this brick wall has basically positioned itself right near that Fibonacci level. But who knows, this might be another battleground, you know, like the 76.4. So just like earlier, we had a lot of action around the 76.4 like this. We could have another type of reaction around here, which is the 61.8. But because we've had a very quick run down in the price, often that means a bounce off. Before we had the rundown in price, but only on one candle, and then it bounced around. This one here, we've had basically a few large candles chasing that down. So they basically had obviously in mind that they were going to go and run straight through the 76. So they took the price up to take out some stop, and they obviously had it in their mind they're going to go run right to the 61.8. make all their money in that move and not let anybody else in. So that could just be what is the case over there. So it'll be very interesting to see where this specific candle is going to be closing. It really has to close above this previous candle over here for it to have any real chance of running up. If it's going to close below the high, then we're probably going to see it expecting us. So it's kind of closed a bit down. So not a terrible thing. We've got a longer wick at the bottom as we have on top. So probably just some retesting of this level. But ideally, any close above this one here is going to see this price rising again. And it might just be for a very short period too. Of course, if we get some sort of a doji type of situation over here, that's a stall of the price going up, which means that we're probably going to come back down and fight around the 61.8. Got 9 minutes left of the session. just the sheer speed that they took to break through that 76 and come all the way to the 61.8 was quite crazy.
Yeah, I hit my trailing stop, and now I'm kind of in a battle at the 61 mark on the Fibonacci.
Yeah.
So in all fairness, I was if
Right.
it's a live account, I'd probably pause it now and just wait.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this is the best time to pause because we haven't got a clear direction from this point. This is like it's proving to be like another little battleground, but it could just be like another little test of it, and then they're going to bounce it up. But it's probably safer to be pausing it. Yeah, they're going to be going through this by the look of it. We needed a higher close on that previous candle. Yeah, they're going. See, that's it. They're really smashing through that, eh? Wow. It's pointless me running optimization now because we literally are at the end of the session. But I'm going to just watch this. And yeah, definitely logically, you pause them around these levels. I'm going to let this one run though. I'm just seeing where this specific candle is going to close on this 5-minute chart. Yeah, it's going right down. And because we haven't had a break up of on this previous signal on this strategy, because we haven't had a break up, it hasn't switched over its signal. So what are we looking at over here?
Well, just let you know, Jason, I've paused mine now only because it's kind of come towards the end. I'm trying to trade it as if I would be trading it on a live account.
Yes.
So to let you know my final results, I finished on a.
So you cut off at the end there?
Yeah, so after commissions was 726. That's after battling from 600 down.
Perfect.
So it's about $1,400 total.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Cool. Well, that's good to hear. So I was hung up on watching the charts instead of just looking at the optimizations again. So we've had a few settings come up on the optimizations, and the last optimizations coming on here, just looking at the charts, we've actually had some really good running positions with some high profits on the optimization. So that's why it is key to keep optimizing and looking at the results and update them. So like yesterday, we were quite onto adjusting the settings, and that was keeping in the heartbeat of the market. Today, not as much. And now we're currently in a buy on this one. So that had a long running position from there. Now, it doesn't always mean that because you're in a very long running position that the strategy is completely out of whack, because you're going to have stages in any strategy where you're going to have some long running positions, but then it's going to compensate itself by having the running winning positions. All right. Okay, so we're about 4 minutes in before the end of the session. So I'm just going to, again, I haven't updated this top strategy. So so coming back to that 61.8, I've been watching the 5-minute chart because it's been very fascinating seeing what the price is doing. So earlier I thought that the price would break through the 76, come to the 61.8, and then come back and retest 76. Instead, they broke through the 76 or the 61.8, and now it looks like they're coming back to retest that level. So they're just retesting the next level instead of the previous one. So exactly what they're doing over there. They broke through that 61, now coming back and retesting it. So more than likely a bounce off the 61.8 back towards the downside. So that's very close. We're very close to that level. We came to within 16 ticks of the 61.8. Some really fantastic results on the strategy analyzer. Good. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything else now because we're basically done. I haven't been updating the top strategy, so I've been rather just watching the 5-minute chart. But we've had so much experience now working with the analyzer, changing the settings. So I'm sure you guys have really benefited from that, and you just got to keep applying that. So updating your settings, even if you have a bit of a drawdown in the beginning of the session, like you had earlier, Stuart. You can make a good recovery from that. Just keeping that strategy analyzer going, trying to stick with the best settings. And if the price is bouncing around those levels like it was earlier, just stay out of it until you have a clear indication of where price is going. So earlier we had this happening, but once that clear identification of what price was doing after that breakout, that's why I put in these settings to be able to choose your directional trade. So your long only, your short only. So really cool to use, and yeah, good little thing. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being on the call. I will end it over there. Not a fantastic session on this side, but it was really good to look at what price does around those levels, how it reacts and things. So it's all just good learning experiences working with the strategy as well as the Fibonacci levels, which are really cool to give you guidance into what price is going to do.
Thank you, Jason.
It's a pleasure. How did you end up, Eduardo? Did you have any more positions running?
No, not really. So I'll report what happens. I'm gonna keep on going and post something on Facebook later today.
Absolutely. Perfect. Okay. Chat to you guys later. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Jason,
Ciao.
thank you very much. I've got a bottle of
pleasure.
PLS with your name on it when I get down there at some point.
Magic. Okay. So what is today? Today is Wednesday. I will run one more session tomorrow night for the week. And then we'll do a similar thing today. I'll just be a bit more on top of adjusting the settings and pausing the strategy, you know, at times where we should really have paused it. So we'll work on that tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thank you, Jace.
Okay.